Hello everyone, I am Mr. Law from Excel Software. Today I want to share with you about AutoCount SST and how to set those tax codes. There are some hidden features on how to set these tax codes. The more you understand, the more carefully you set them, the error rate when you issue invoices will be greatly reduced. Alright, I highly encourage everyone to save this video. Let's first see how many ways there are to set it. You see, AutoCount, when you set the SST, it's not just simply setting it at 6% or 8% and that's it. Actually, you can also set different tax codes for different products. Let me show everyone how to set a tax code for the entire system and then how to set it for each product. When there are different products, we set different tax codes, so we don't have to set each product individually. Let me show you how it's done. In this whole system, when setting the tax code, every time we issue an invoice, it will follow a standard tax code. We come to this tax code section, and here, if you are in sales, you choose the code you usually use. If you are sales tax 10%, you select this code. If you are service tax, you select this code. Edit, and there's a check mark here, then default. Default means the whole system will issue invoices according to this tax code. For example, if I now create an invoice, randomly select the customer, and then randomly select the product, you see any product will automatically use this tax code. We just enter the amount and it will multiply by 8% for us. Directly multiply by 8% and it will give us the total. This invoice is 2,500, the tax is 200, so the customer needs to pay 2,700. After saving, another way is, you see, not every product has a tax code. Like in this example, I made this example where all the products, you see, this is an accounting firm. The accounting firm provides accounting services, audit services, taxation services, and also Mind Software. All these services it provides are 8%, including Mind Software, which is also 8% service tax. However, if selling computers, because it is not producing producing computers is called sales tax. And if this is a factory, it produces computers, it is called sales tax. And it might be 4% or 5%. Like in this case, because it is buying and selling computers, it is not service tax. If it is not service tax, generally here, when we issue an invoice, we do not need to enter the tax code. For example, when he selects this product for software, he needs to pay 8%. But if he selects a computer, for the computer, he needs to choose 0%. A 0% code. So here, or leave it blank. This is the method. For example, 1,500 and 2,500. This is the SST method. Personally, I don't recommend leaving those codes blank. That's something I personally discourage, because when we check, at the end, in the next video, I will explain how to check if each tax code is placed correctly, or before we submit SST, how to check the whole thing, whether you've done it right or wrong. I will explain that in the next video. Personally, I still do not encourage leaving these tax codes blank, because if you leave them blank when we check if you submitted incorrectly, it will be quite time consuming. We fill in the tax codes, making it easier to analyze the data. We can directly categorize and analyze the data according to these tax codes. Here you see, I suggest that if possible, even if it's 0, we should create a new tax code. Of course, you might ask, hey, is there a suitable tax code like this? You just come to configure Malaysian SST. Input tax is our consumption, our purchases and expenses, those things, which are the tax codes for where we spend money, the tax codes for the things we buy. If you use them, you just check. Output tax is what we sell and the money we receive. That's called output tax. As for output tax, you can take a look here. There is some explanation of output tax, its explanation. If you still don't understand, then you can view explanation on this tax code. Here it already explains each tax code and it will update to which part of the SST form. The purpose of this tax code, including this service tax 0%, you see this 0% is not mapped to the table. The SST form does not need to be updated at all. It is just a tax code for service tax 0%. You ask me personally, I also don't encourage using this SST 0%. SST 0% is also a tax. It's also a tax. Maybe in the future, the government suddenly announces, I want to show it in the form, then this, you're already used to it. Using it would be troublesome. I still encourage, if possible, we just create a new code, and here there doesn't seem to be a suitable situation for this 0% code. Non-taxable is also incorrect, because this product, the buying and selling of computers, is completely not within the scope of SST. We call it out of scope. We create a new one, and you can label it as OS. Or more specifically, we can separate it as out of scope for service tax. Out of scope for service tax. And this is 0%. We mark it as 0%. And this is what we sell. We call it supply. Let me explain what accrual basis and payment basis are. Accrual basis means we paid the SST first. And as long as we conduct the business, we have to pay the SST. This is usually the case with sales tax, where we use the accrual basis. According to the SST guideline, sales tax is definitely on an accrual basis. Only service tax. So sales tax is when you issue an invoice, or you don't need to pay SST first. Only when your customer pays you that you need to pay that SST. I'll repeat it once more. So sales tax is on an accrual basis, meaning you have to pay the sales and service tax once you issue the invoice. However, for service tax, after you issue the invoice, you don't need to pay the sales and service tax until your client pays you. When they pay you a portion, you just take 8% of that portion to pay the sales and service tax. There is your two different bases. Then you ask me, can service tax use the accrual basis? Can service tax use the accrual basis? You see here, all sales tax is on an accrual basis, all service tax is on a payment basis. In our original system, we control it this way. We control the entire system this way. Our principle is to control the entire system this way. That is to say, you can change this accrual basis, payment basis, and then switch service tax to unaccrual basis. However, personally, I do not recommend it. Why? Because the government might keep adjusting the tax rate in the future, possibly changing it to 7% or 12%. When our system upgrades, your new colleagues might not know that you previously changed from the accrual basis to the payment basis. These new tax codes will not automatically switch you to the accrual basis. You also need to manually change that to the accrual basis. Moreover, to use the accrual basis, you need to write a letter to customs and obtain their approval to use the service tax based on the accrual basis. This is quite troublesome. I don't really recommend you use the accrual basis for your service tax. So the payment basis is fine. You don't have to rush to pay back. No need to rush to pay back the SST. Many friends might find it troublesome because the government has a law that after more than 12 months, if the customer hasn't paid you the SST, you have to pay the SST in advance. Many friends worry, what if I pay the SST and the client doesn't return or give me the money back? What should I do? Well, what if they don't pay me? So you don't need to worry. AutoCount itself can track these invoices over 12 months. And even if they pay you after 12 months, we can still track it. And we will generate some listings. If the system can handle such details for you, then you don't need to worry. Just buy a good system and follow it. Let's not go too far here. Let's first talk about this 0% out of scope. Like those two products just now, I don't want every time I issue an invoice, every time I select this hardware, it still shows 8% and I have to change it to OS each time. It's quite troublesome. In this situation, we can do it in advance on the item side. This supplied text code, you originally don't have it, you can right-click with the mouse and pull out these supplied text codes, pull them out. Supplied text code is the text code for what we sell. The text code for what we sell, these blanks will follow our system default. At the beginning, as I taught, the default will be captured directly. We don't need to fill in 8%, just leave it blank. We only need to fill in those that are beyond the SST scope, which we call out of scope, and only these two products are out of scope. You just need to edit this hardware product, edit it, and only in the supplied text code section, switch to select this out of scope product, out of scope, then select this Dell computer, choose out of scope like this, and then save it. Later, when we create a new invoice each time, you will see that in this situation, when we select some software, it is still 8%. But when we select a computer, the system will automatically switch us to out of scope. We don't have to manually change the code each time. It's that simple. We just need to set it in advance on the item side, which will greatly reduce the chance of errors.
This is what you need to learn and master.
If your company encounters different tax codes, you can set it up like this in advance, okay? Our system can not only set the tax code based on different products, but we can also set the tax code based on different customers or different suppliers. If we have already set the tax code on the supplier or customer side, then when invoicing in the future, it will directly follow this supplier and customer. For example, studies are mixed if most suppliers do not have a tax code and only one supplier has a tax code. In this case, I just need to fill in the tax code for that one supplier as 6% or 8%. This way, in the future, for all their products or services, we will directly apply 8% or 6%. Customers, some are exporters, and for exports, there is an export tax code, or in service tax, we call it B2B exemption. B2B exemption means if he sells software and you also sell software and both are registered for SST, customs does not want double taxation on the same product. So in this case, he can tell you, I am in the same category as you, I can deduct tax, you don't charge me tax. This is called B2B exemption. Okay, let's see how the system sets this up for the specified customer. So if you want to set it for a specified customer, when they buy software from you, you can give them an exemption. You just go to this tax code here. So once we sell it, we need to supply the tax code. So here, there is something called exemption. We configure output tax, okay? See which one is more suitable. For export, it has an export tax code. Then selling to different places. There are two export tax codes. You need to be careful. One is for service and one is for sales. Then here, we first talk about the B2B exemption. Provided register. Okay, for the B2B exemption, I'll just select 8%, check this B2B 8%, then save it, and it will appear. After that, we go to the client side, choose this. So you edit this client. Then in the others section here, come to the client side, we go to others. Here there is this tax code. We select this exemption code and then you save it. Okay, so if you're not sure if it was saved, you just organize the columns, find that tax code column and pull it out. Okay, that's it. Okay, you just find that tax code and pull it out. That's it. Okay, so here you can, if you want, you just save it and later it will directly show on that one screen. So let's demonstrate. If this customer, you see an ordinary customer buying something, when we select those tax services or auditing services, you see it directly shows 8%. Oh, directly shows 8%, including software as well. So now I will assume it is a software provider. So we will select 2 software items. Okay, this is an ordinary customer, directly 8%. Then let's try it. Okay, let's try copying it. Okay, copy it to the sub B2B exemption customer, and here it will directly help you update to that exemption tax code. Okay, so if you don't believe me, we can also look at it step by step. You press new, then enter B2B exemption, and then you add software 1, software 2. In this situation, it will list out, okay, list out directly with the exemption code. And it's that simple, okay? So next is the supplier. We can also set it like this. If some suppliers always have certain tax codes when you buy from them, while others do not, then we just set them directly with the supplier, okay? For air conditioning service, if it exceeds a certain amount, it also needs to register for SST for its service. So we edit, then we go to others, and we find a tax code for this air conditioning service. So it's 8%, we save it, and then we create an accounts payable invoice. When we create the accounts payable invoice, you will see the service from the air conditioning supplier, okay? So once we enter that service, it is 8%. But if we select another supplier, you see it is definitely empty, and it will automatically switch to empty. Only when we select air conditioning service will it switch to 8%. This is how the AutoCount can help you with the setting, okay? How to operate this part. Save it, okay? So let's see what other details there are. So just now we already taught how to check on the product side, and then on the customer or supplier side, and then we have some set to 0%. I also mentioned this, and also how to check which document the tax code will post to for SST. I also talked about this. Next, we will talk about how every invoice must have a tax code filled in, how to set this up so that the tax code is not left blank, as it can be left blank now. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't encourage leaving it blank. If you leave it blank, it will take a lot of time when you need to do analysis, okay? I don't recommend leaving those tax codes blank. Try to create a new tax code and fill it in. Okay, let's see how to make the system require filling in the tax code right here. So I'll first do a sample. Let's say this sample is customer C, and he bought some items, and maybe one of the products the employee accidentally when handling it. So accidentally cleared it, so it became empty. In this situation, the original system allows you to save. The original system, you just directly save. So if you want to control it and prevent your employees from making mistakes, then you come here, we select this country, and tax. Here, there is a must specify tax code. Then we check it off, okay? After unchecking it, in the future, when you want to save this order, you see, when I save this order, it doesn't allow you to save, okay? Because it knows a tax code must be filled in. We have already done the setting, okay? In this situation, if it is 8%, you just select 8% and it's okay. So finally, let's take a look at this purchase document. The purchase document is quite strange. Some accountants prefer, let's say I have $1,000 worth of items and I buy the product with 8%. So my account, if it's a purchase, then the purchase should show 1,080, okay? But there are also some accountants who think it's better to separate them, okay? This way, you will know how much of your business is SST. So in this situation, they will post $1,000 to purchase, and the other $80 they will post to the SST paid account. How do we set up these 2 different methods? Okay, so first, let me show everyone. Just now, we did 200 entries, so I changed it to 1,000, making it easier for you to see. I transferred this 1,000, and then you can go to edit. There's a view posting detail. In view posting detail, you see it is posted to this supplier here, and then to general expenses 1,080. Okay, if it needs to be posted to 2 different accounts, how do you set that up? Okay, if you still don't believe it, let's go check profit and loss here. You see now general expenses 1,080. Okay, it will automatically help you post it in. This video can help everyone. If you have any suggestions or good ideas you want to share with me, you can email me. The phone number is 0149672631. Thank you, everyone. The most comprehensive accounting software, your first choice.